Now, with concerns over the safety of the personal data of people who have had their DNA tested with 23andMe, now that the company has filed for bankruptcy. And Whit, this is a very personal story for you.
Yes, buckle up. It gets complicated here when it comes to my family. So yes, years ago, I took a DNA test on 23andMe and unraveled a family mystery completely by accident. Now, like millions of other customers, members of my family, and especially my dad, are wrestling with the difficult decision of whether to delete our data for good.
What does DNA even stand for anyway?
This morning, the fate of DNA testing company 23andMe hangs in the balance after filing for bankruptcy, leaving many of its millions of customers scrambling to erase their profiles and data.
This bankruptcy announcement is certainly a privacy nightmare for consumers.
Some state officials, like California's Attorney General, telling customers to consider their rights, directing them to delete their data and ask the company to destroy any samples of genetic material.
Companies have anywhere between 30 to 45 days to delete the data. It's so important to do it now before this data changes hands.
The company, once a genealogy pioneer known for those saliva-based sample kits, identifying genetic health risks and most notably connecting long-lost relatives.
23andMe data.
Back in 2014, my own test unlocking a family bombshell. My father, Steve, was adopted. We knew nothing about his biological parents until my DNA linked with a close relative on 23andMe, who turned out to be my dad's brother.
My DNA test was that missing link.
It was the missing link. And that's the key thing.
This was the moment my dad and his brother Bear Backer met for the first time.
Long time no see.
7 years.
How are you? Oh, I heard that back crack.
How are you, brother?
Good.
Wow.
Over the years, that discovery led to another brother and possible sister on my grandmother's side, and just recently, 2 more brothers on my grandfather's side.
How would you characterize the reward that this information has brought to you in your life?
Well, like I say, most adopted people at some point or another wonder what's out there. And then you find that you have a brother, you learn about who your mother was. It sort of rounds out the feeling about who you are as a person.
But now, 23andMe users with similar stories of family connection are facing the difficult decision to remove the data that led to those breakthroughs and bonds yet to be made.
It does make me sad because it means that a lot of people who would have had the experience that I had won't have it because people just won't sign up for this stuff.
And while I decided to erase my data,
your data has been deleted.
My dad feels differently.
I'm not going to delete my data. For the handful of people that are really seeking information, this is the only way you're going to get it.
Still love seeing that video, by the way. In the bankruptcy filing, 23andMe insists there will be no changes to the way it protects consumer data. And throughout the sale process, for complete instructions, you can go to this account here. We have a QR code right there on the screen if you want to go ahead and delete your account and your data. But as my dad pointed out here, for him, he's just not ready to close this chapter on this beautiful family story.
And it is a beautiful story, and we really appreciate you for sharing it publicly, Whit. Like, really, really appreciate. You're going to help so many people, but it is complicated.
Exactly.
It's complicated for people making these decisions.
Yeah, and part of the thing is, you know, what do people do now, right?
Yeah.
Some people are going to stay with 23andMe if they can, maybe see what happens. People like my dad, despite the risks. Others will go to other companies like maybe Ancestry.com and others. But my dad made a good point. His concern is this is going to scare people from wanting to submit this type of DNA in the future that will shrink the pool of potential ancestors and limit these wonderful connections that people could have in the future.
Yeah. Also, oh God, what a great story. And also for medical research.